Good morning, everyone. This is Source Codex, aka Jazz Fusion Guy, and this is another one of my how-to videos. This one doesn't have to do with fixing something broken or how to get rid of data on a hard drive you're throwing away. No, this is a little bit more different. Now, I have several videos on my channel about how I have dealt with my bamboo and keeping it where I want it to stay, because this stuff is known for spreading. Now, one thing I encountered recently is I was having bamboo come up outside of my bamboo barrier. Now, if you see here, this line of rocks, this rock wall that extends for a long ways, behind these rocks is a thick piece of black plastic that goes down like 2 to 3 feet into the ground that I had professionally installed, and the guys also piled up the rocks as well that they encountered doing some other terraforming in the backyard. Now you might ask, all right, if you got bamboo barrier and you got this rock wall and then you've got this bed here, why is bamboo coming up here when you've got a barrier there? Well, the bamboo did not grow over the wall, which is obvious, and it didn't go under, which is also quite obvious, because the bamboo does not go that deep when it is spreading. What has happened though, bamboo is pretty smart in spreading its range. If you look right up there, you will see outside my fence and between my neighbor's fence, bamboo coming up. So what has happened is the bamboo, my barrier only goes as far as my wall, my fence. The bamboo's made an end run around the barrier between the fences and has sent rhizomes into my new bed. Well, controlling it's not that hard when I can't think of the name of them, but when the bamboo starts to come up out of the ground, you'll see it, and all you have to do is knock it off. I use a hedge trimmer kind of tool, just one quick slice below ground level and it's gone. And it won't come up again for a long time. Now, the issue is though, even though you're getting rid of the vegetative growth above ground, the rhizomes will keep growing. And I've got my landscape timbers here. The rhizomes were showing up here, heading towards my house, heading towards the gate. I was having to do a lot of digging, which was very irritating, and then cutting them off. So I decided what to do was this. As I did on my back fence to keep rhizomes coming in from my neighbor's backyard, which is where the bamboo first started, I went ahead and cut old bamboo and then split it lengthwise. I dug a deep trench in front of my landscape timbers, and I installed really long pieces of bamboo going down into the ground. I just hit them with one screw, holding them into the landscape timber, and then put the dirt back. Well, that has worked wonderfully. The rhizomes cannot get past the fighting bamboo with bamboo technique. Instead, what they do, which I've had it happen a few times, not too many times, But I've had vegetative growth from the rhizome trying to come up here. Little skinny pieces of bamboo trying to give life to itself, to the rhizome. Well, that's pretty easy. You just yank that off, break that off, snip it off, and you're good. Well, I thought I had solved my problem, but I actually stumbled onto something else. That is this. Outside my gate, on the other side of this wall, on my side yard, the side of the house outside my backyard, so to speak, which is adjacent towards the front of the house, I was getting vertical sprouts here. And I'm thinking, oh great. So what I did was I dug another trench. I didn't use bamboo this time. What I did instead was I sunk several 4x4s, 5x5s, just some extra wood I had around the house, and sunk it down way below the typical growth pattern of rhizomes. And since I did that, I have had no issues with bamboo coming up. Maybe occasionally a few skinny, small pieces of bamboo vegetation trying to come up to feed the rhizome. But again, all I had to do was cut that off. And I've in past also hit it with some Roundup. But for many days now, many weeks, I've had no issues. I removed all the rhizomes in here. So all the rhizomes right now are confined to this back area here. And dealing with the occasional vertical sprout, again, I can't remember the name of those sprouts, that's not hard at all. You see them coming up, you chop them off, you're good to go. So I do have rhizomes under here, but they are confined, and it's very likely what they're probably doing is curving around trying to go another way, or they're just stuck right here and they can't grow. I don't know typically what a rhizome does when it can't grow. All the thing it has to do in its nature is to either turn and grow in another direction, or to try to come up somehow. And any of that behavior is really obvious when it tries to come up, and it's easily controlled. What's going on under the ground with the rhizomes? I have no clue. But I do know that I have several rhizomes that are growing and have grown all the way up to that wall over there adjacent to the gate. But they're confined now. They're not doing any of this growth. So there's an idea of controlling rhizome growth. If you've got some old bamboo, like I did, you can use that, or you can put in your own kind of barrier yourself. If I'd wanted to, I could have dug out on this side of the landscape timber, and I could have gone to my local bamboo dealer and bought some barrier myself and installed it. But I wanted to stay on the inexpensive side and just use and create my own bamboo barrier, and it is working quite well. So with the asset and the beauty of bamboo, you do have liabilities. And if it can figure out how to get around a barrier, it's going to do it. Well, this is Source Code X signing off. Think twice before you plant any bamboo. This is one little addenda to the earlier video that I showed you of controlling the incursion of bamboo rhizomes on the side of my house. And this is what I did on the back fence of my yard. My neighbor used to have a literal bamboo forest, which he has cut down, but he did not dig the rhizomes up. So I used my bamboo fighting bamboo. These are cut very long and very deep into a pruning trench that I had earlier installed. Now I have no issue with any bamboo sprouts popping up, and the rhizomes have been stopped. The reason these are taller was I had severe rot at the base of my fence, and these guys have done a nice job. And I think aesthetically speaking, they look just fine. They've covered up the rot and they're stopping the bamboo as well. Woohoo!